Hi, welcome to the channel. So today I'm continuing my reaction to the British Parachute Regiment. This is PPlatoon episode 2, coming from the channel PPlatoon. Let's get to it. If you get any value from this video, please go ahead and give it a like or a comment or a share. All those help the channel out. Thank you.
The Infantry Training Centre in Catterick, North Yorkshire, produces some of the finest infantry soldiers in the world. And it's here, in Europe's largest garrison, where parachute regiment training takes place.
The Greek name for Greece is Hellas, and this is Hellas Barracks, which I think is significant considering that the Greeks have had a shared history with the Anzacs as well as the British forces dating back to at least World War II. So I wonder if Hellas Barracks is actually named after that shared history. If you do know for sure, please drop it in the comments.
This morning, 34 recruits have arrived to start their course. They all share one ambition: to pass out in 28 weeks' time and join the regiment.
Right, Joe, listen in. You're now taken to your accommodation. On the move around, you'll move around in a smart soldier-like manner in 3 ranks, which I'll put you in a minute. That is the formation you'll walk in or march in around this camp from this day forth. Any questions? No. Turn to your right.
Nerves. I would say their emotions at this stage are nerves, a lot of nerves.
Didn't know where you are, I was just rabbit in the headlights, just like, whoa, what have I got myself into, really?
One thought I did have was, holy shit, I've forgotten to bring a lot of stuff, like spare coat hangers and iron and stuff like that. I thought, you know, I've packed lightly here. I've balls this up.
I remember the bus ride with all the other recruits from the airport pulling on to Fort Jackson to basic training. And as the bus pulled up, we saw a row of drill sergeants with the Smokey the Bear hats, and all of us had that oh shit look on our face. Then one drill sergeant gets on the bus, barks orders at us, and starts yelling. It is very crazy and hectic, not tame like this. But yes, for the first couple of days, you are walking around like a deer in the headlights.
Their training team have over 60 years army experience between them and have recently fought with distinction in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Okay, I'm Sergeant Bishop, I'm platoon sergeant throughout the whole course. Obviously you've met the NCOs already, the corporals you've been walking around with, all right? When you're speaking to them, you'll speak to them as corporal. When you speak to me, it'll be as sergeant. That's what we'll work on for now. Anybody else, call stir or staff, they understand that.
Yes, sergeant. We just give them the standards and the rules that we expect them to apply by. And probably for a lot of them, a bit of a shock to the system.
I was scared of Sergeant Bishop at first, honestly. He's just like the scariest person I've ever met. I'm not afraid to say that, yeah, he does scare me quite a lot.
His voice is like a foghorn, it's unbelievably loud. And you know, when he barks an order, you react to it as quick as you can, quicker than lightning.
You'll soon learn discipline, what we expect from you, and we only expect the best. We expect the highest standards in all discipline while you're here. Anybody failing that and we will get rid of you.
You don't want to get on the wrong side of Sergeant Bishop.
I was like, yeah, I like this guy.
Everybody stand.
Yes, sergeant.
You notice the guy in the t-shirt right there? What was he thinking? Everyone else is in suits and ties, so why is he in jeans and a t-shirt?
I like discipline. I mean, where I'm from, Bradford, it's pretty lawless, you know. So when you're in a situation like this, the chaos comes to calm.
Remember, we did not write you a letter to say come and join us. You looked at us and thought, I want a bit of that. From now on, if you want to leave this establishment, you can't for 5 weeks. You're here now. I don't want to hear anybody, because there'll be some of you that will come to the office crying, want to go home, I don't want to be here. First time you'll say that to me is the beginning of week 5. You are here now.
That was the most worried I've ever been, ever.
Most of the recruits are wearing a suit and tie, but one has opted for casual dress.
I never got told to come in a suit, so I just didn't. I just travelled comfortable.
All our eyes are on them immediately, and to not make that effort on day one, yeah, it's annoying.
You don't want them to learn your names. You don't want to stand out. And he is standing out like a sore thumb. Lesson learned.
When I got here and everyone was like that, I was like, well, I'm here now, so, you know, no point flapping about it.
And he just obviously didn't bother his ass buying a suit and just rocked up.
Cope. Well, cope. Cope.
Let's go properly for counselling in then.
End whistle. Let's go.
Once briefed, they're divided into 3 sections and shown their living quarters in the training centre, or depot, for the next 7 months. They also meet their section commanders.
Welcome to Free Section. You belong to me now. I will train you, and you are mine. My job was to mentor up to 12 young recruits. The way I approached it was as a father to a son. You need to teach them. You need to teach them discipline, because a lot of them come here not knowing much discipline. So you're kind of the enforcer.
On the actual corridor door, start putting stuff on there, like your home background, your mothers and fathers. I don't want to see it bare. You've all got fucking lives. You've all had lives up to now. You've lost them. You're in Power Depot.
Right. See how the bedding is? Every morning, that is how I want the bedding.
These all go with you.
The young men have come from many varied backgrounds.
I just want to hear a few little things about you, your age, your name.
An icebreaker gives them the chance to learn about each other and get an early sense of how they'll get on.
Studied to be a gamekeeper.
My dad was in the army. He served in not army here, back where I come from, Malawi. He served in the army as a general.
When I was 13 years old, I got into fighting, like cage fighting, Muay Thai.
I was quite impressed by the background. Some of them I'd done all sorts.
My younger brother were also in parachute regiment, but he's come out.
At the start, I was like, "These are my competition. Yeah, I'm gonna do anything to beat you. I'm finishing this course with or without you."
As soon as you walk in, you judge people straight away. I judged coats straight away.
I wanted something successful, and the parachute regiment seemed the most successful thing to go for, because it's the hardest training to do, really.
You know, a grey-haired guy with tattoos all up his neck, and you know, I was like, oh fuck me, some kind of chavvy bastard from Geordie land. Yeah.
Chavvy bastard from something land? Okay, I definitely missed whatever he said. What is the age limit for joining the parachute regiment?
It turned out he wasn't. He was a big softy, isn't he?
Then I thought, I've got to do this time. There's no ifs or buts. I have to do this.
I wanted to join the parachute regiment because my great-granddad was one of the first ever parachuters, so I want to follow in his footsteps and make all my family proud and make him proud.
Parachute regiment battalions must be ready to deploy in the most demanding operations. So all potential paratroopers must take an oath of allegiance on a holy book of their choice.
Okay, so I'm just put one down here.
To serve whenever and wherever they're needed, regardless of the dangers.
This isn't only just to the Queen and country, this is also to your friends, to your family, and to the men sat next to you, and the men that you may go, men and women that you may go into war with.
It's like it's a real feeling like, well, I'm actually doing it. I'm actually joining the army. I'm actually going through this.
I swear by Almighty God
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Because I wanted to be there, and it made it more like, yeah, no, this is it. You got your chance you wanted.
You've done the vow of allegiance, so there's no backing out. That's how I looked at it. No backing out.
You're swearing off, aren't you, to the Queen, and like that's what I've come to do. So, fight for the Queen and country, and it was a really proud moment doing that.
It's something to be proud of. You get all them people that sit in pubs and they have all the pub politics and like, oh, if I were Prime Minister, I'd do this and the other, blah, blah. But they can't get their asses out of the pub and get a job, you know what I mean? Because I'm black as well, you know, so them same guys are like, oh, you're this and you're that and blah, blah, and oh, immigrants this. But they aren't doing nothing about it. They aren't doing anything to protect their country, you know? They just sat there talking. I love my country. I'm quite patriotic, you know?
They call week one the shock of capture. On their first morning, the recruits have been given a wake-up time, or reveille, for 5:30 a.m.
Reveille. In the United States military, reveille.
Something as simple as waking up is not a skill, it's just a need we want you to do. And if you can't be asked to do that, then again, you shouldn't be there.
Keen to be ready in time, some are up earlier. They have just 20 minutes to be shaved, showered and dressed, and lined up in the corridor.
It's 25 past now.
Yeah, it seemed early. Seemed very early. But again, it's a shock to the system because you don't know what I expect throughout.
I've never been so scared of not being ready, not having the right stuff.
You're in the army now, this is it, this is what we're all about. You follow the rules, you do as you're told. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Get down to that.
When it comes to being on time in the military, it's very simple. In order to be on time, you have to be there 10 to 15 minutes prior, especially to formations. That is the big one. But if you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you are late. And if you're late, you are screwed.
That fucking end. Hurry up.
The recruits, traditionally known in depot as Joes, line up for their first inspection, a shave parade.
On Civvy Street, when you leave little bum fluffed areas on your cheeks, stubble under your chin, bit of hair down the lining of your face, you'll get away with it. But here, you will not.
A lot of them would never have shaved before and actually need a lesson on how to shave, which is something that we do in the first week of training.
The Royal Marines also have classes the first week on how to properly cleanse yourself when you're taking a shower, how to shave, etc. Are these lessons also taught at the normal basic training? So not just for the Royal Marines or the paras, but for medics, commo, supply, etc.?
I don't really have to shave. I haven't really got a lot of facial hair.
I remember you. You only Joe turned up at the train station and shaving, weren't you, Joe? What's your name again?
Blackledge Corporal. It was quite a rush in the morning, so I didn't shave in the morning. I shaved the night before. I packed all my stuff in the loft, and just jumped on train, thinking nothing of it. Arrived at the train station, obviously crapping myself. But yeah, I'm here to join the parachute regiment, and Corporal Houghton just looked at me and said, "Have you got your wash shaving kit?" I went, "Yes, Corporal." And he went, "Well, go to the toilet and go and shave." So I was like, "Oh fuck, good start." And then so I went into the civvy toilets in the train station in my suit having a shave. People looking at me like, "What the fuck's he doing?"
That trick never works. Trying to shave the night before, no. It's a trick that all the drill sergeants and corporals know, so don't try it.
My dad always checked me over for shaving about when I went for job interviews, but no, never so close, especially couple heart rate. So lift your chin up and that, and he just gets right close. Like Jesus Christ, trying to see every little follicle.
Questions?
No!
Right.
The men will spend months learning crucial skills for surviving and fighting in the field. So the quartermaster sergeant issues them with all the essential kit they'll need, such as magazines, cooking utensils, and army rucksacks known as Bergens.
You're getting all this kit that you've never used before and never seen before, so it's kind of like an army Christmas, if you will.
Some of the kit was good, some of the kit was crap, but yeah, you have to make do with it. Like, probably if you think back to like the Falkland Islands, World War II, they didn't have any of this kit that we had. They had to run around with everything in their pockets or strapped over their back, which is probably a lot more uncomfortable than our webbing or day sacks.
You're going to sign for this kit. Right, this kit that I'm lending you is my kit. It's on my account and I take care of it. I just sublet it to you. So now you're responsible for that kit.
In the US military, and sounds like the British military also, the commander assigns the hand receipt for all the equipment in the company, and that breaks down to the platoon leaders, platoon sergeants, down to the squad leaders, and down to the individual soldiers. So you are signing for your equipment and you are responsible for it. So if you lose a piece of equipment or you damage it, then guess what? You are paying for it.
Right, good. I will.
Today, the recruits will say goodbye to their civilian lives and clothes. At the stores, they're issued with army clothing, including combat dress, boots, and helmets.
Try that on, please. How does that one feel? Is that better?
It feels like you're just becoming a part of something. You just want to get that uniform on when you're the first day. You want to get it on.
Quite happy? Yeah. Okay.
As soon as he said, "Oh, we're going to collect our kit," we're all a bit excited. Like it was like Christmas, to be honest. Even though it's just, now it's just kit, it's what you wear every day. But at the time, you're like, "Oh, buzzing, yeah!" Like opening your kit, like thinking, "Yeah." So can't wait to get it on, get it ironed, and get it on.
Say you work at McDonald's and you get the uniform there, it doesn't really bother you unless you like it or something. I don't know. When you come here, you put so much effort in and that to get here that you want to wear it.
For the first 7 weeks, they can only wear army forage caps. But they're allowed a tantalising chance to try on the parachute regiment's legendary beret, the Maroon Machine.
Yeah, you don't feel worthy. You don't feel worthy. You got to earn it. You feel the power of it. You've got to earn it.
After you've tried it on, you just have it in your locker, just as a bit of a, just so you know like what you're aiming for, sort of thing, like what you want. So I was always looking at my beret in the morning, thinking I'll get that soon enough.
The French Foreign Legion, I'm reacting to a video on them in the next week or two, or it might already be published, but they have the same thing. They actually have a traditional white hat called a kepi, and they do try it on in the beginning of their training, and then once they actually pass everything and they do their white kepi march, then they actually get to put it on, and it is a great sense of pride once they can finally wear their hat. Same thing with these guys.
I'm gonna have you one day, that's what I was thinking. One day you're gonna be mine.
It's the first time that you like look and see it and you're thinking, this is what it's all for, you know? Like you see that this is at the beginning of the journey, and it's such a big journey for such a small thing, you know? That's what you're going for, you know, the Maroon Machine.
How does that feel?
Okay.
Yeah?
It's week 1 of parachute regiment training in Catterick. The regiment prides itself on setting the highest standards, pushing itself to the limit and mastering every type of soldiering skill.
Yeah, you've got your nice creases on the V-line of the neck of the shirt. Yeah, I'm a big fan of ironing. I got a lot of time for it. Yeah, iron flat. You've got to teach them everything. You literally do have to teach them everything. I had a recruit in my first course that just could not tie his own shoelaces.
No, I've never ironed before. That was my mum's job before I come here. It was my mum's job to wash my clothes, to iron, do everything like that. Tidy my room. But no, coming here was just a big life change.
A wake-up call.
You need to sort of take it from the most basic level of health and hygiene and train them to be, you know, healthy, fit, strong killing machines.
Right, how we'll do it is, I'll talk you through what you need to do and you will demonstrate it for me to the remainder of the section. How's that sound?
I went out with my mum. She picked out an iron for me, which is a decent iron, and I think that's what sort of helps me a bit. My iron saves my life each time.
Just don't do it the way you're doing it now.
I was thinking, I'm 24, I don't need to be taught how to iron. You're like, yeah, I'm going to join a parachute regiment, and you just think it's all guns blazing and there's going to be loads of violence and mental stuff going on, and then you find yourself in a lesson learning how to iron.
The first thing I think my dad said to me was, oh, you better start learning to iron. I was like, yeah, just, I know how to iron anyway, I'll be fine. But I got here, and there's people like Blackledge and Connell and, you know, the older guys who've lived by themselves and done their ironing. You know, we can do it all in a few hours, you know, all their kit, every single bit of their kit, done, you know. And then there's me, you know, still going. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this? You know, how you got rid of those creases there? You know, yeah. I wish I listened to my dad. I really do.
Left, right, left. From this point on, the recruits will form up a 766 platoon, also known after one of the parachute regiment's battle honours, Athens.
Athens, another Greek connection.
Their first few days have been taken up with admin and kit issue. Now they're introduced to the SA-80, the British Army's rifle.
Can somebody remind me what rifle the Royal Marines actually use? Because it's been a while since I reacted to those videos, so I just don't remember. With US Army basic training, you typically have between 4 and 10 days of in-processing and doing all the admin stuff and getting initial uniforms. And then after about a week, then you actually ship out to basic training and just a few miles down the road to your actual training section, and that's when you meet your real drill sergeants, and that's when basic training actually begins.
The first lesson for every soldier in infantry training is skill at arms. The class is led by Corporal Hartree.
Take out your notebooks and pens.
A veteran of 2 tours of Afghanistan, he has a wealth of combat experience.
On operational tours, your weapon system will never be more than arm's reach away from you at any time.
Chamber, body, face of the bolt. Yeah.
Before you can even go on to like any sort of drills or firing or anything like that, you need to learn the actual weapon itself, taking it apart. So if you don't know that, you're screwed. There's a lot of sayings in the military about your weapon system, and one of them we do live by in the parachute regiment is first my weapon, then myself. You know, you need to look after your weapon system, because when it comes down to it, that's in a kinetic atmosphere or in a firefight, that's what's going to save your life.
In face-to-face combat, airborne infantry soldiers have another weapon at their disposal.
If you look at the bayonet, you see the groove coming down over there. Yeah? Yes, sir. What do we think that's for?
So you can pull it back out of your enemy football?
Maybe.
To get to the main arteries.
Yeah, sort of.
And use it to cut rope.
Yeah, it's a fucking rib separator, Joe. So when you stick it in someone, yeah, into their lungs, it separates their ribs, pushes their ribs apart so the blade can go straight into the internal organs, be it their lungs or their fucking heart.
It's an amazing bit of kit that's been used by soldiers and warriors for, you know, God knows how long. And it's something that's only used in close quarters, and it has been used in recent years, and it will be used again.
You will hear a prominent click, Joe. So when you
It excites me stuff like I want to do it. I'd love to be able to use it, but like getting your hands on it, it's a knife, it's cool. But no, yeah, one day hopefully I'll get to use it.
I got feeling me head nodding like you.
As the week progresses, the recruits are getting to know each other and settling into army routine. But while they struggle to get to grips with their new kit, one of them is having second thoughts about committing to a life in the parachute regiment.
just not having a very good time at the minute. Don't think I'm ready, to be honest. Like, I think I'm gonna go for the army again, but don't think just yet. Might give it a few years, to be honest. But I'm just not mature enough yet. Don't think, like, in honesty.
Can he come
By
back
the
and
end of
try
the
again?
week, Private Kelly had left.
Shot! Right! Time! Better, as you were.
March! Left, right, left!
It's not something the parachute regiment is widely celebrated for. But marching and parading as a unit, or drill, is a key component of Athens training.
Swing those arms back, Hoga, all the way back. Better.
Very bad. I couldn't do it at the start.
Left! Wait for it. Turn!
You don't at the start. You don't know how to do it, and you don't want to knock up at the same time. So you're thinking about it that hard that you're making yourself make mistakes because you're too nervous.
March! Left, right, left!
It's getting them to work as a unit, because everything has to be in time. It's teaching them self-discipline, standing still, you know, because if they can't stand still on a drill square, what hope are they going to have when they're in an ambush?
When you march, Joe, it is normal walking. We're not the Russians.
I think it has a very important place in depot for all recruits, because it's all about reacting to a word of command.
Joe! Shot!
It's about uniformity, carrying out a movement as a squad.
The easiest mistake for a recruit to make is to TikTok.
I shouldn't be laughing because I was horrible at drill and ceremony, but that is just...
TikTok like that, like a clown. It feels unnatural, doesn't it? Go. Okay, just walk normally. Alright?
Look.
By the front. Quick march! Left, good, left! Yeah, much better.
Much better.
To be honest, they're not too bad. You know, if you look at it from a distance, it might look pretty shocking at this stage, but it's about the mechanics. So as long as we can get on these basic lessons, if we can get the mechanics of their movement, like this is how you do it, Joe, and then they can get the mechanics of it, take it upstairs at night, practice.
So this is a 28-week basic training course. So how long is basic training for the non-paras though? And where does that take place? Once part 3 is up, I'll put it right here. Thanks for watching.